We get these people, and then you'll have like the incident we had on the West Side Highway
in New York,
where this guy who comes in through chain migration and visa lottery runs over and kills 8 people, and he came in through the system. Well, I don't want that. I want people to come in ultimately. We want people to come in through merit.
That was President Trump on Fox News last night talking about the way forward on immigration and his plans for a border wall, which he still says Mexico will pay for. But according to Mexico's president, they're not budging on this.
Yeah, in fact, Mexico's President Enrique Pena Nieto just called off an official trip to Washington to meet with President Trump after another tense phone call last week over that wall.
Let's bring in CNN congressional reporter Lauren Fox. So what happened on this phone call, Lauren, that changed the plan for the president?
Well, it was another war of words between President Donald Trump and Mexico's President Enrique Pena Nieto. Now, Pena Nieto was scheduled to visit Washington tentatively at the beginning of March, but that trip will no longer continue, in part because of that tense phone call on Tuesday. Now, the president, according to a White House official, continued to push for Mexico to finance that border wall. That is something that he's been doing since the early days of the 2016 presidential campaign, and it's something that Pena Nieto has been consistently saying Mexico will not pay for. Now, a White House official said that this phone call was less tense than one in January 2017, where Pena Nieto canceled another trip to Washington, but the phone call led to no resolution about the funding of that wall. We should note that President Trump is trying to get money for the wall any way he can. He's also pushed Congress to fund his wall. And while a bipartisan group of lawmakers presented him with a plan that would give him $25 billion in border security in exchange for citizenship for 1.2 million Dreamers, the president rejected that plan, saying he wanted more changes to the legal immigration system.
Commentary writer and editor for the Washington Examiner, Siraj Hashmi, with us now. This is not the first time this has happened. Siraj, January of last year, the Mexican president called off a planned trip to meet with the president over a similar scuttle. If the president cannot convince Mexico to build this wall, is there a political ramification for him?
For President Trump, right now, the main ramification is if he allows amnesty for the estimated 1.2 million undocumented immigrants. That would be the huge concession that really hurts within his base. Building the border wall, that's become sort of a non-factor, and really this game of chicken between Pena Nieto and Trump, for a lot of people, is not as big of a deal. Whether the border wall gets built or not is something that, you know, for Trump supporters, that might be a big thing, but amnesty is a whole lot bigger and completely different issue that I think would hurt the immigration stance of President Trump.
Sure. So Jared Kushner, we understand, the president's son-in-law, he's in charge, as we know, of managing the U.S.-Mexico relationship, among many other things. But officials say that a few hours after both of the presidents spoke on Tuesday, Kushner actually called Pena Nieto, tried to help smooth things over. He still canceled the trip. What does that tell you about, and we've been talking a lot about this with the security clearances, about Kushner's ability to effectively do his job?
Well, Jared Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law, as well as Ivanka Trump, they have taken a lot of criticism for handling specific sensitive White House issues. And the fact that they don't have full security clearances are certainly concerning. With respect to the U.S.-Mexico relationship, now there are definitely some Mexican officials who would say that the relationship between the Trump administration and the Pena Nieto administrations are closer than they were in previous administrations. However, what we're seeing from reports is that, you know, even though the top two leaders are not agreeing on anything, maybe that actual relationship between the administrations are formidably stronger. But again, that only really matters when you get results. And right now, both sides are at a political stalemate, and they're not going to get anything done, at least until Pena Nieto either gets reelected or there's a change in leadership.
Officials say they may try to meet again in Washington or at the Summit of the Americas in Peru. That's happening in April. What's the expectation there?
The expectation is probably more of the same. You know, you're going to have this, you know, chest thumping, whoever can back down first is really going to be the winner in all of this, because, you know, with President Trump's border wall, that's, you know, anywhere from $12 to $15 billion by conservative estimates, all the way up from $67 billion by Democratic estimates. You know, the American taxpayers are going to be paying for all of that and getting, you know, whatever, money from Mexico. Is that going to go back to the American taxpayers? We're not so sure right now. And President Trump needs to make a convincing argument, at least in the lead up to the midterm elections, that this is still a good idea.
Right. Siraj Hashmi, we appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you.